So these buildings were actually being built before I moved to Seattle, and the developers abandoned it. So they've been sitting unfinished with these cranes on them for over 3 years now. Over 3 years, they've been just sitting like that, unfinished. It was crazy. But I think now, actually, just in 2025, they've started working on it again. So I'm guessing that all of the licensing and stuff was taken over by a new developer, and we might be seeing some new towers coming in soon. When I started investing, I was about 24 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. But I was very excited about the fact that I was investing. I was excited to talk to people about, all the knowledge I had just learned, all of the new stocks that I wanted to look into, and PE ratios and everything like that. And I know now, right, at the age of 31, not to do that. But there are just people who wish you well and feel the need to tell you what to do. I don't know why, but I open myself up to being given a lot of unsolicited advice. Even to this day, people just like to tell me to do things. And I've learned with time to just politely decline. But here are some of the things that I've been told in terms of investing that if I had listened to these people, I would be dead broke, still in debt. And in this current economy, the way that the stock market is now, panicking to not invest until you pay off all of your loans. Here's why that whole orders of operation statement really doesn't fit with me. For some people, it is a viable option, especially if they graduate college and they have a higher income and they can get rid of their debt, at a faster rate. Every single person who has ever told me to do this, when asked, when did you pay off your debt and how much do you have invested, they've always said a mixture of they either still have debt and they're not planning to pay it off, and or they don't invest. Stock market's a scam, 401k is a scam, stuff like that. And so when I'm told to do something a certain way and they don't even want to do it themselves, it's like, why are you even doing that? Why are you even telling me to do that? It's ridiculous. And it makes you look like a hypocrite and very silly. So that's the first reason why. Terrible advice. Because one, if you're not doing it, it's bad advice. If you're telling people to do things that you can't even do, it's bad advice. My second reason why this would be not the best advice is because had I listened, right, and focused only on my loans and, worked on those without investing, I would have been paying off those loans without any benefit, right? I would have been at net zero eventually, but no financial benefit other than that. The way that my loans were set up, if I had just followed the standard plan, I would have been paying off my loans for 100 and I believe 25 months, which is around 10 and a half years. And so I would be paying my loans off until 34 and a half. As you guys know, I'm 31. So that means I would have 3.5 years left to pay off my loans. Mind you, there would be times where I might have lump sums I could throw at it to where it would be done before 8 years for the aggression that I wanted my stock portfolio to grow. I don't think that would have been beneficial, which leads me to my last reason why that's a bad idea and why it's bad advice. The last reason why I think it's just not good advice, not why you don't have to always listen when someone tells you to pay off your student loans or all of your debt before investing, is because you will miss out. And I know people say a lot of the times that FOMO is not something that you want to live by. And it's not exactly FOMO, it's more like having time in the market. Because say I didn't invest for the past decade, I will have missed one of the biggest bull runs that we have seen in the stock market. And I would have missed, the huge one after 2020. We do have another opportunity right now to experience some good gain, but say that I were to have just paid off my loans now at the age of 31, and then this drop had started, and I was only able to invest for the past, 4 or 5 months. If you guys have looked at the stock market, we have lost 6 months of gains total in the stock market since January 20th. And so if I had just started because I wanted to get rid of my debt first, that would have been a disaster. And I would have maybe thought that the stock market was a scam or that I just had lost the bet. And again, while I say that this doesn't apply to everyone and it might not tickle your fancy, I just have the knowledge to know now with the actions that I took back then. I know now that I would not right now be at Coast Fire. If I had listened to that advice, I maybe would be debt free, but how much savings would I have? I don't know. So I think it's a good trade-off. I don't believe in waiting until you're 30 to invest in the stock market. I think that's silly. I think, your 20s are some of the best years to invest in the stock market because your dollar is so strong. What did they say? I think someone said $1 in your 20s is worth 50 at retirement age. Why would you wait knowing that? Why would you wait until your 30s, wait a whole decade to invest if just $1 would turn into 50 at retirement age? That, to me, is the biggest form of self-sabotage. And because I knew that back then, it helped me not be a follower now. And I know it might seem harsh, but one of the biggest lessons that I feel like a lot of people can learn and that you don't want to learn too late is not to just do whatever someone tells you. Don't be a follower. It doesn't benefit you to be a follower. Always look into the person giving the advice and see how it benefits you. Does it benefit you what they're saying, or do they just want to tell you what to do? You really should look into that because some people, even if they don't outwardly or explicitly say it, do experience jealousy. And some people want to see you slow down a little bit. And potential is scary. And because potential is scary, it stops movement, it stops progress. And if we're not doing it to ourselves, we could be susceptible to other people doing it to us. And so my reminder to you is not to let people do it to us. Don't let anyone make your decisions for you. Don't let anyone make your finances work not in your favor. Only do things that benefit you when it comes to your finances. That is one of the biggest lessons that I learned on my financial journey. Thank you guys so much for being here, watching this short video. I would like to know in the comments, what is some advice that you've gotten about investing or money in general that you look back on and you're like, that wasn't the best advice. And I'm glad I didn't listen, or I'm mad that I did. That's what I want to know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you down there, and I will see you all in the next video.